It's pain, process, power.
If no one's told you lately, because everything is perfect, but because I'm done waiting for. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Power Moves, the podcast where we don't just talk success, we talk struggle, strength, and strategy. I'm your host, Sash, a Jamaican Ethiopian woman in finance, entrepreneur in the making, and a firm believer that success isn't just built, it's survived. This this is not luck. It's pain, process, and power. At 27, I'm betting on myself, not because everything is perfect, but because I'm done waiting for permission. And if you're listening to this, maybe you are too. I'll never forget the night I realized I was truly on my own. I was at the time 17, standing in a small room I could barely afford. More ambition than money, more questions than answers. But one thing was certain, I wasn't going to be a victim of my circumstances. I had parents, they were alive, but I didn't have the support. I was emotionally and financially alone. Prior to that, I had been living with a relative after tension at home made it unbearable due to financial strain. And when that relative decided to move, I was left to figure life out by myself. But I made a decision. I was going to finish high school. I was going to go to university. And I was going to become that businesswoman, even if I had to drag myself there. My first job was at Agent Catering. I was 14 at the time, where I worked as a phone operator, pretending that I was older than I was just to be taken more seriously. I worked after school from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., earning about 6,000 Jamaican dollars per week. That money, it wasn't much, but it was mine. It kept me fed. It sent me to school. It helped me survive. What people at my high school didn't know was I used to cry myself to sleep. Overwhelmed, exhausted, and unsure if I was going to make it. But I kept going because deep down, I knew my life had purpose. It was my mindset that carried me through. The decision that shifted from why me to watch me. Over time, I stopped listening to doubt, mine or anyone else's. I surrounded myself with people chasing their own success. I focused on what I could control. And even when the odds were stacked against me, I kept going. I put myself through university and I graduated with a double degree in finance and economics. Eventually, I earned a partially funded scholarship to pursue my master's in financial economics in the US, which I accomplished in just a year and paid off 45,000 out of pocket tuition expense. And I did it with no help. No sponsor, no safety net. Just strategy, sacrifices, and serious focus. I've been misunderstood, underestimated, and tested. I've had to heal while hustling, lead while learning, and build while breaking. What I've learned is this: success is not handed to you, it's claimed. It's built in silence. It's built when no one's clapping for you. And that's why I'm here. Over time, I started to understand something most people overlooked. Success isn't a destination, it's a discipline. I worked, I studied, and I saved. That's not luck, That's alignment. It didn't happen because everything was perfect. It happened because I stayed in the fight when no one was clapping. People love to talk about money, but real wealth is not about flashing it. It's about understanding it, how to grow it, how to protect it, how to invest in your future. Not to just impress strangers online. We live in a world obsessed with other people's highlight reels. But if you're not careful, you'll start measuring your purpose by someone else's position. Just because you're not sitting in that Ferrari right now doesn't mean you're not on the road to success. Stop comparing paths. Start appreciating your progress. I've been underestimated, used, and ignored. But I've also been reborn because I became the woman I needed the most when I was younger. That's why I created this podcast. Power Moves isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming. This podcast is for underdogs, the ambitious ones quietly carrying heartbreak, the women who are healing and building, the ones who know they were born for more, but are still figuring it out to get there. And I'm not here as a guru. I'm still climbing. I'm betting on myself. I'm still figuring it out in real time. Right now, I work in finance. I'm writing my first book. I'm studying for my CFA. I'm building this brand from scratch because the world needs to hear us rise in real time. Here's what you can expect from Power Moves. A quick reset or mindset shift every episode. A guest or a deep dive on topics like why pretty doesn't equal easy, from poverty to portfolio, business while healing, the silent battles of overachiever. A power takeaway, something practical for your mindset or money. Guest power moves, community questions and answers. Gems from my upcoming book. If no one's told you lately, you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to be rich to start. And you don't need to have it all figured out to make your next move a power move. Your story matters. Your mindset is your greatest asset. And if you have a dream, this is your invitation to get up and get serious about it. So, if this hits your soul, follow, share, and subscribe. We're building a movement here, not a moment. And remember, you can cry and still be a powerhouse. You can doubt and still show up. You can be broke and still be chosen. Because the most powerful version of you isn't waiting at the finish line. She's already inside you, fighting to rise. So, I'll catch you on episode 2. Thank you.